I am speaking with the late, great John Lennon. I feel him on a soul level because he reminds me so much of my uncle, who has been living in England since long before I was born, and is also a musician. So, and also somebody who understands a lot of that Eastern thought and Eastern practice when it comes to finding yourself. And that's what John is here to talk a little bit about. Because he's saying that in the heyday, he's using that word, heyday of the Beatles, they were young kids and they skyrocketed, right? And for him personally, he can't speak for his bandmates, but for him personally, he's saying that everything that happened, the fame, the fortune, it was his ego, okay, was kind of coming, was not kind of coming, it was being fed the most. And he knew it wasn't good for him at a certain point. He felt like empty. And he's speaking specifically about people who become famous, because everybody he has found since he's crossed over to the other side and has kind of parsed through certain things, he has found that people who rise to fame, especially in a very rapid way, the way that the Beatles had, I mean, we named it Beatlemania, that they need to turn inward and seek ways to reconnect with nature and with the self, okay? Reconnect with God, reconnect with source, with the universe, whatever it is that you want to call it. Some of his most beautiful songs were written because of that journey from the ego to the heart. He's saying the heart. I found my heart. I found myself. I fed myself and my heart. And I did not allow the ego to get out of control. And he agrees with me. We both have a very similar way of looking at the ego, that it is necessary in order for us to survive as humans. But if you think about it in the way of a house, right? The ego is in the foundation. It's not supposed to be in every room of the house. So, he said money and fame and all of that, you know, it wasn't fulfilling. It wasn't fulfilling. There was more. He says that his creativity was declining because of the ego process he was being fed, this sort of, it creeps in and then it takes hold of you, he's saying. So he's saying to, like, believe it or not, drugs like LSD and things like that, I'm not saying that anybody should be doing drugs. We cannot do that on this channel, John. But he's saying that the experimentation, I'll say, okay, that he took part in the 60s, 70s, was beneficial to him finding that creative spot again, because he had it before the fame. He just had to reconnect with it again. So he's showing me that it helped to facilitate his connection to source, which is what he has always pulled from and what all creative people pull from. When it comes to taking something and planting it down here on Earth and giving it to humanity through music, art, it doesn't matter what it is. Anything that's created is always going to be have some connection to source. So, okay, so he was very good at meditating. He was a Libra. I would think that he would have that ability and would enjoy it, because it's something that Libras, that balance, they have it. They know how to do it. Water signs too, but like Libra, it's almost like second nature for them. The connection to the self is very important. He's talking about there being a self-love journey that he took, having to come to terms with certain things that transpired in his life as a boy. He does not want to go into great detail about those things, so I'm not going to go there. However, he is saying that he had to look at certain things in relation to how they interfered with his life as an adult, and then sort of like unravel it, heal it. Then he could be in the driver's seat, and his creativity was very much something that he wanted to reconnect to, because that's how he writes songs. So his main focus, and the reason why he went to India, Tibet, I'm sure he's been all over there. He went there because he wanted to learn how to tap in an easier way and a faster way, and how he could do this on his own, no matter where he is in the world. He can be present. He was working on being present, but he was also spectacular at being out of the body, out of the out of body experience, the disassociation in a healthy way, the astral projecting, remote viewing, connecting to source while still in his body became very natural to him. So, he studied a lot of different religions. He did, on his own. I'm not sure that that's publicly known or not. I mean, all of what I'm saying, I don't know if is publicly known, because I haven't looked at his biography or anything. But yeah, he studied a lot of different religions. He questioned things. He questioned religion, especially Christianity. But he wanted a taste of different things to see what worked for him. I love that about him. I asked him if he's a mystical traveler, and he said yes. So what he did and how he impacted society was a very major role. Like, it was something that he came here to do in order to set people free. Oh my God. Yeah. And then he's saying he's going back to why he moved into the real hippie Eastern thought kind of era. And it was because he needed to free himself. And through his own freedom, he set people free because of the music and the way that he lived. He was hoping to impress upon people how he lived. He's showing me Yoko, so she had a lot to do with that. Yeah, she's saying like people really mistook her. They misunderstood her, and they blamed her for things, but she really wasn't to blame. She wasn't taking a role in everybody else's life. She was my wife. And together we were trying to create a movement. And he said that was purposeful to me. If I didn't create music, I would have been doing something else. And I was always creating, no matter what, I was always creating. And his relationship with her really mattered a lot to him. And she liberated him in many ways, he's saying. So that was helpful. He doesn't really want to get personal because I asked him about his sons, plural, because he has, I think, 2. I'm not sure if he has more children, but he doesn't want to go into his personal life as John Lennon. He'd rather stick to talking about why he existed as John Lennon at all. And he knew that his life, based on like how good he was at picking things up, he kind of just like showed me himself as a boy and just being able to naturally do things like, not like, I mean, I guess like a prodigy in a way, but he wasn't really, a prodigy. He was just able to do things naturally that some people have to study to gain the skill. He was naturally talented. But he's telling me that his soul, he was meant to die when he died. Okay. And I know that's hard to say because he was assassinated, but he's showing that was a contract, a soul contract with the man who killed him, and that he was destined to go out when he did because that's what he chose as an exit point. But he had to go out that way in order to make the impact that he made. Because people are still gathering and having like circles, celebrating his life, circles of people. Everybody is still affected by the music that he left behind and the life that he led. So it's understandable that he would then really want to kind of like have an exit point that would shock. But he's saying like, I don't want to shock people. What he did was he's saying that just like oh my God, he said just like he was in life, his death was also larger than life. In living, he was larger than life to a lot of people. And in his death, he was also that. And so it impacted people in a way that they were moving and shaken, in that they were questioning their governments. They were doing things to enact change for the better all over the world, but especially in the United States, where he lived. He lived in the Dakota Building near Central Park in New York City. And that's unfortunately where he also died. But he's saying that the mark that he made continues to inspire people, not just in creative ways, but in taking action in a peaceful way. Oh, this is why he's talking to me right now. I was wondering, I'm like, why did he pop in? He's talking about what's happening in Minnesota with ICE. He's talking about the people of Minnesota and how proud he is to see them peacefully protesting and not giving up. I think people, wow. I don't know this, obviously. I don't know what's the people that are protesting there. I don't know anybody personally that is protesting there. My best friend lives in Minnesota, but quite a little bit away from where all of this is happening. But he's showing me that they very, very well could be listening to his music at this time. There's a few people that are really tapped in to his energy that are protesting. So it's kind of a beautiful thing that he's coming around. Like, usually that's how spirits will contact me. I won't know until way after the reading is over that they're coming in because of a specific reason. They want to shed light on something. They want to speak about something that's currently going on. Yeah. It's really incredible that he's here with me right now. It's kind of like Kurt Cobain. Like, I couldn't believe I was talking to him. Because the first CD I ever owned, because I was born in 1983, so I had cassette tapes before I had CDs. But when I was in 6th grade, I had a CD player / radio in my room, and I bought Weezer's Blue album. That was the first ever CD that I owned. But my next CD was Best of the Beatles 62 to 68, I think. It's the red cover because it had the songs that I liked the most were on that compilation. It was 2-disc CD. So early in my childhood, I loved their music. I think if you grow up in a musical, you don't even have to grow up in a musical home to like enjoy the Beatles. You don't have to even be musically inclined to enjoy the Beatles. Their music has impacted so many people, and he knows that, and he's speaking up and he's saying, I see you, the people who are out there protesting all over are now coming into an understanding of how I conducted myself in my life. And he's saying he would be there. If he was still around, he would be there right now. A lot of people that he's really urging other celebrities to get involved in a much more intimate way. And I know that that's scary. I know that that is probably something that most celebrities would not do because it's dangerous. It's dangerous for anybody, given how ICE is reacting to people who are just peacefully protesting. And it's not, as when you say peaceful, it's not that there's just peace going on. They're shouting. Okay, what it is it's not violent. In that it's they're not attacking the officers. And yet the officers are treating them thus. Oh, he just said, it'll all be over soon. It'll all be over soon. And that's, I mean, that's not, it's not meant to be a threat. It's meant to be hope. It's shedding some light on things changing for the better. And he says it's all because of those people in Minneapolis, and I believe the Twin City. I don't remember. There's an adjacent or like there's some kind of adjacent city to Minneapolis, and forgive me, I don't remember. But yeah, he's really proud of this. He knows the injustices that are taking place, and he wants everybody to stay strong. So this has been a little bit of a mini reading, channeling with John Lennon. I hope he comes back. Usually spirits will come back if they have something further to say. But yeah, John Lennon.